Subscribe to Sparkat TV. Listen, you're going to see some right footage and get some undercover stuff as well. Get involved.
Yeah, man. I think you know what? I watched this twice, right? So I watched it live, but when I watched it again the second time, I kind of saw like a lot of improvements in what he'd done. So the main things though, he didn't throw enough punches. He didn't have the killer instinct. But I will say that he has improved like quite a lot, especially in the time. He's got a new trainer, hasn't he? Is it Robert Garcia? So yeah, I do think he done well, but he lacks the killer instinct. He never threw enough punches. There were times when I think there was a time I can't remember, maybe seventh round or something when he threw a few body punches, used to slow down, and he in an Anthony Joshua slowed down.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird. Like, yeah, he didn't have the killer instinct, but he was moving more about. He's much more mobile, like more shoulder rolls. He was trying to make little angles. Yeah, definitely. Like and he was more planted. You get me? He weren't bouncing up and down like in the first fight, like trying to be, some slick boxer like Tyson Fury. He's not that kind of guy, is he? He's more, I don't know. For this fight, he had to be more aggressive, and yeah, he was more aggressive, but in terms of his stance and like technique, but he just didn't throw enough punches. So dude, that's where I'm at with him. To be fair, like yeah, that's
Okay.
why. What about you? What about you?
Yeah, I
With
mean,
you,
my,
with
my thoughts is I didn't see a huge amount of difference in what he was doing. I felt that, yes, he was making more effort to target the body. I thought in
yeah.
the first two rounds, I could see he was trying to be more economic with his punch output.
So I will
But
say that that's why like I think he done well, but maybe like when you look at it, like maybe he could not throw enough. Like he still was trying to do a bit of boxing, like in the first one, but he was trying to maybe find the perfect punches and stuff. He didn't let go. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? But you can't against Usyk though, bro. Like that's the thing. Usyk is so good. Like I know we're talking about Anthony Joshua, but when you go to Usyk, bro, he's so technically good. So it's a difficult one for Anthony Joshua.
yeah, I think I still think if you look at both of the performances, I still think he relied too much on boxing and not enough on
Yeah,
his size and strength. Like look how Derek Chisora had Usyk more bothered,
yeah,
whereas I didn't really see Joshua putting Usyk under pressure to where you could see Usyk was uncomfortable for long periods of time.
yeah,
Like he couldn't sustain the pressure. He was quite predictable, always throwing hard shots. I believe a lot of the shots Usyk was riding and parrying them, and taking some of
yeah,
them. A lot of them were taking on the gloves and elbows and shit. So even though he was throwing those hard body shots,
yeah,
I don't think he was hitting cleanly a lot of the time. And it seemed like AJ wasn't
yeah,
accurate, like he had wing rust. A lot of his punches he was throwing, I felt like a lot of the shit was missing. Like some of those, he was throwing some kind of hooks to the body that kind of started low and came up, and they ended up looking like uppercuts. And I was like, why are you throwing all of these weird angle shots? None of them are landing. I didn't see him backing him up in the corner, leaning in. He doesn't know how to tie a man up in the corner. He doesn't know
yeah,
how to use his weight, his size, and his height. He
yeah,
didn't really use a hard jab to kind of like. He's supposed to be throwing the jab to the chest and the body, but it seemed like he
yeah,
was still headhunting at certain points in the fight as well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
there's a lot of things
yeah,
that I kind of didn't like. Yes, it was a better performance overall from the first fight, but I feel like you said, the killer instinct was missing from AJ. Like it's been gone since the Ruiz loss, basically. So what's your thoughts on how his mentality has changed since the Ruiz fight up until now? What do you reckon?
yeah. He definitely. I mean, he knows he's got a weak chin. Like even when he fought Klitschko wobbled him. He's been wobbled a few times, hasn't he? So he knows, especially the Andrew Reese fight. I mean, we don't know what it's mad how much that's changed him, isn't it? But the thing is, as well, he's gone through so many different styles. Like obviously, Ruiz, when he lost, he then went to some kind of, he didn't really go for it. It was more just a boxing kind of, remember he was on the back foot, bouncing up and down. It's just even against, is it Pulev? Like he kind of, again, we didn't know what kind of style. I just feel like he's going through different bits of styles at the moment. And
Mm.
I've got to say as well, like even with his corner, like I feel like he needs to listen. I feel like Robert Garcia needs to have more input into the corner because I think it was his old trainer. He was still giving him advice and saying that you're winning rounds and stuff like that. Like he needs to hear something different.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? He needs to change it up.
I wasn't too impressed with his corner, to be fair. Like, I didn't really see. I know
Yeah,
people are saying he worked on his new style and blah, blah, blah. But for me, I didn't see a lot of benefits from that corner because even after the first 2 rounds, I distinctly remembered someone in the corner told him that he won the first 2 rounds, and there's no way he won the first 2 rounds. So if you're telling man's
yeah,
lies, that's not a good sign that that the corner is reading the fight accurately. You're supposed to tell him, nah, bro,
yeah,
you ain't. In the first 2 rounds, he didn't throw enough punches to win those 2 rounds.
yeah,
So I just feel like he's still got yes men around him. He's still got men that want to just make money and ride the hype train. And I think that
yeah.
he needs to go and get a proper heavyweight trainer, basically. That's my opinion. He needs to go to the States and get a proper heavyweight
I
trainer.
mean, yeah, yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say because I think his trade Robert Garcia is saying that he wants Anthony Joshua to go to America basically, and I think that would probably be the best. I mean, don't know where his head was at, you know, like from as you say, like from Ruiz, you're right, like it's completely changed. Because not only changed mentally, but it's changed his boxing technique. Like all of his fights have been since Ruiz have kind of changed, and he's lost like in if you know since the Ruiz fight, how many has he lost? Is it 3 or 2
I
out of
think,
5?
uh, yeah, I think he's lost 2, but he hasn't really got any knockouts since. You know what I mean? Like, or except for the
Yeah,
Pulev one.
okay,
Yeah.
the last 5 fights he's lost 2. Like that's how you look at it. Like at the moment, his current run, let's say last 5, he's lost 2. So he's gone through different styles. Yeah, you don't know what his head's at. He's trying. Obviously, he's tried a new trainer, and I think like looking at that fight, if all the things that I said that are positive and then the things that you said negative, if he worked on them, then he would be a bet. He can come back like strong. You know, that's
Yeah,
what I think.
I
So.
think he needs a new trainer. He needs to go back to that old style
Mm.
he was working with. Because that new style that he's trying to implement, that boxing style, it doesn't really work well for him, I don't think. He's still a bit too stiff. He's a bit too upright.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just don't think he's comfortable in
yeah,
that style. He should just go back to how he was before and just let his hands go more. But
yeah,
he's just become gun shy ever since. I think like his mentality has just
yeah,
really altered from that loss. I think he was very embarrassed going to MSG for the
yeah.
first time and losing to a fat guy. You know what I mean? So
Boy, yeah, yeah, for real.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
What are you
definitely
saying about Usyk though?
now
What are you saying
Usyk.
about
Yeah,
Usyk
yeah,
though? I
Usyk has
mean,
proven himself to be the real deal. Like when he first came into the division, I was wondering if he was a hype job. I thought maybe he's a Lomachenko kind of guy who's
yeah,
got skill, but isn't as good as they're saying he is.
yeah,
But he's proven that he's the real deal. And I definitely want to see him fight Fury.
yeah,
I still would give Fury the edge if they fight, just because of the size, his boxing IQ, and all that shit. But I
yes,
think Usyk will
yeah,
give him a
yeah.
good contest. Because again, think how tall is Otto Wallen? About 6'2" as well, isn't it? Because
No, Otto Wallen, no, I think he was taller than that.
is he taller than that?
He looked taller than that, to be fair.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. No, because
Otto
I'm
Wallen,
just saying.
he looked like a tall guy, you know.
But it's funny how Otto ended up being the one who gave Tyson the most problems out of a lot of these people that he's fought. Like Dylan didn't really trouble Tyson. Deontay didn't trouble
No.
Tyson, but Otto did. You know what I mean? So I find that quite interesting.
Otto's he's 6'5.5".
6'5". Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's quite tall.
So he's quite big. But then you know what? Like it could be one of them ones of where you know how Anthony Joshua struggles with, as we know, like smaller opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be one of them ones where Tyson Fury, you know, when like with Usyk again, like Anthony Joshua made again, it shows he can't handle someone that's smaller than him. Like if he fights a Dylan White or a Joseph Parker, I don't know, someone that's kind of like his height. I don't know. Joseph Parker is quite small, but yeah, like Deontay Wilder, let's say, yeah, he'll do better. Anthony Joshua would probably do better, but
Subscribe to Sparkat TV. Listen, you're going to see some right footage and get some wonderful stuff as well. Get involved.